Good morning, my name's Julie from So Unique, and all the links where you can find me on social media are down below, and obviously on the high street as well. I'd like to welcome you to week 4 of my weekly vlog. This week I think it's going to be, I'm going to be doing a lot of sewing this week, getting ready for autumn. Can't wait. And I've decided to make a tea light holder today using a Kilner jar. I've got a nice big one here. Some Mod Podge, it's the gloss luster one, and mulberry paper. So basically all you do is you put some glue on, you just work in one sort of small area at a time, and then put your paper on top. And then put some Mod Podge on top, and then obviously you'll just leave it to dry, and you will get a nice effect because the mulberry paper, don't know if you can see, it's got like veins running through it. So I'm hoping to get this done so it'll be ready to go on the mantle tonight. And I just thought I'd share how I do it. Now we're just going to leave the jar to dry. It could take a couple of hours. You might want to give it another coat of Mod Podge and then leave it until it's dry, and then you'll be able to use it. And you can always decorate it up. You can probably put a bit of string or jute around the top and maybe put some leaves on or something. So yes, it'll look nice. Hope you try to make one. I'm sure you'll enjoy it if you do. And both my jars are dry now, so you can just see what it looks like there. So now I'm going to decorate them up. I've just done this one, the small one, which I quite like. Oops, I quite like that. So now I'm going to show you how I did it. Right, so all you need is some, well, I got some of these leaves off Amazon, so I think they're a bit stiff, but they're thin, but they don't actually, you can't actually glue them unfortunately to the jar, they just don't want to go around. But I've got a hot glue gun here, so I'm going to decorate the jar rim with the leaves. Just going to put a bit of glue across the top. I'm sort of crinkling them up a little bit if I can, just to give them a little sort of bit more of a natural look. There we go. Because you also have got to be careful that, like this one, you don't get too stuck together. Well, I don't want to come apart. There we go. I think that looks quite autumnal. I'm going to put some photographs on of when it's a little bit dark and I've got my tea lights in, so you can just get the effect. But yes, so that basically hasn't cost a lot of money really to do that. So it's a nice easy project for anybody. So I hope you have a go at making some tea light jars yourself. I'm making some candle coasters now. And I thought I would just share with you my candle coasters. I've just used scraps of fabric that I had left over from the quilt and the project bags, and I've just made circles, and the candles sit on here lovely and they look really nice on the mantle. I did do one that was a rag one, which I quite like, but I think I'm going to stick with the circle ones. And I've also been doing something else. I've been doing some leaves. This is a project it might take me a few days to do, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. If you keep watching till the end of the vlog, you will see what I make. Just look at this. I'm about to sit down to do some filming, and Elsa's jumped into my seat. She's a little monkey, this one. And it's that time of the day, cup of tea time. And I thought I would just pop on and just show you one or two of the books that I have read. This one is A Deadly Yarn, and it's by Maggie Sefton, and it's a murder mystery again, and it's all about a young woman called Kelly who moved to Fort Connor, and she meets up with her knitting buddies at the local yarn shop. And there's people in here who they live on ranches and things like that. They dye yarn, there's lots about alpacas and everything, and it's a really good read. And some of the things that they say, it's a well drawn characters and a wickedly clever plot. You'll love unravelling this mystery. And that's a little thing from Laura Childs, who's another author. A clever, fast-paced plot with a spunky sleuth and a cast of fun, engaging characters. And you get lots of, let's have a look at the map. You do get some recipes in here, just one or two at the back, and there's a recipe for a triangle shawl as well. But they all live in Colorado, and it's really engaging. She's a very good author, this one, so that I would highly recommend anybody who likes cozy mysteries, go and check it out on Amazon. You can, I think just for the Kindle, you can download a sample. It's worth looking at. And another author that I like is Betty Hetchman, and this one is more on the crochet side, and the main character is called Molly Pink, and it's in California, and she's got sleuthing skills, and she goes to a crochet group and she works in a bookshop. And this is another really good author, but with these books you need to start with book one, because sometimes they sort of follow on. What else? Yes, here we go. Hooks the reader from the onset with likeable characters. Readers will admire the feisty, caring Molly, which is true, because it's brilliant. Check it out on Amazon again. And this one is by Joanna Fluke, and this is what is it, this one? This is a mystery with recipes. She has a shop in Lake Eden, Minnesota, and she makes cupcakes and cookies and things like that. And she gets into all the sleuthing, like you know, it's like a Jessica Fletcher really. But this is another one, and you do get some recipes I think in the back of this one. Let's have a quick look. Yes, you do. You get a few recipes of some of the things she actually sells in her shop. So there's quite a few books in this range, and I think I've had most of them. But yeah, they are really good reads. I think when you have your books on Kindle, you have to wait a little bit longer to get them, because when they first come out it's always just it's usually hardback. You might get paperback, but then it takes a while for them to go onto Kindle, which is a bit frustrating, because I like it when they first come out and I can pre-order them. But like I said, I just have my books on Kindle now. So I hope you'll check out Amazon and go and have a look at these books, because I don't think you can get them in any of our shops, because they're all set in America and everything. And I've been to Waterstones before, one of our bookshops, and they don't really have anything like that there. So I think next week I'll tell you about another couple of authors. I've got another few more books upstairs. But enjoy your reading. And I thought I would show you the progress on my toadstool socks. I've done the heel flap, and now I'm on the gusset. So I did that yesterday a bit. Had a bit of a lazy day yesterday. Didn't feel like doing anything, so I just sat and did some knitting, which I thoroughly enjoyed. It's nice just to have a bit of time out for yourself. Today I popped down to the shop. I mean, it's my day off today, it's Monday, and I've got a lady coming in. She saw me at the Newark Quilt Show and she wanted to buy some more Christmas fabric, so I said I'd meet her down there. So while I was out, after I'd finished with this lady, I popped to Tesco, and I came across this Good Food magazine, which I've never bought before. I've been on their site on the internet and I've had some of the recipes off there, really enjoyed them, but it was just that picture that got me. You can see it. Sorry about the glare. There we go. That's pasta bolognese, something I really want to try. But what I really want to do, and if I've got enough ingredients, I am going to make this tonight. And this is fig sponge pudding. I love figs, and so it's time of the year I think the figs are out. So I had a look in Tesco and they've got 4 figs for just 39p. So I thought, oh, I'll have 2 packets. God, like I say, I do love figs, especially mixed in with Greek yogurt. That's gorgeous. And this recipe actually calls for 8 figs. So I've got that. So I'm going to have a look in the cupboard and see if I've got enough ingredients, and then I might make that tonight. So if I do, I'll put a picture on later on of it. And also with the magazine there's a free autumn collection, 30 comforting recipes, and that caught my eye. That looks absolutely delicious. And that is pancakes, and let me just have a look. It's pumpkin pancakes with salted pecan butterscotch. So there's a recipe in there for that. So that's going to be one on my list, I think. Whether I'll get a chance to make it this week or not, I don't know. That might be a weekend job. Just depends what ingredients we need. Let's have a look and see if I can find it. Well, you need pumpkin or squash. I think I've got everything else in actually. So as soon as the pumpkins or the squashes are out, I think I'll be buying a couple and have having a go at them because they look delicious. So I can't wait. I think I'll be doing a fair bit of cooking this week. Oh my. Oh my word, that fig sponge pudding was absolutely delicious. I'll definitely make it again, but it is just a treat. Let me just tell you the calorie count for it. It's supposed to serve 8 people and there are 733 calories per portion. That is a lot of calories. Oh my word, the amount of butter that's in there was unbelievable. I mean, you don't want too much, small piece, but it was amazing. Definitely make it again sometime, but not for a while. Well, it's a miserable day here. It is absolutely chucking it down with rain. I had the customer in not that long ago and she told me that it looks like the country, we don't know where, is going to have 2 months of rain in 6 hours. It's going to be flooding in places. And here where I live we tend to flood quite easily, but luckily, I mean, I live up a hill, so it's not really going to affect me that much, but it keeps people in. They don't want to come out when it's like this, and to be honest, I don't blame them. Anyhow, so I've got plenty of time, I think, today to get a few jobs done. So I've cut out my second ghost, so he's ready for stitching, and I have cut out my medium pumpkin, so I've got 8 pieces of fabric there, and I've cut out my large pumpkin. So I'm waiting for my stuffing to arrive, and I can't see that arriving before the end of the week, so I've got plenty of time to stitch. And I've also been cutting a little pile of fabric ready for my leaves, so I'll show you more on that later on. Well, I'm just enjoying a nice cup of Yorkshire tea. I'm not at work today. Adele's going to be looking after the shop for me. I'm off to the hospital soon with my mother-in-law, so I'm going to make the most of it while I've got an hour or so free and try and do some sewing on the pumpkins. and have a little snack, I think, because the taxi will be coming for me in about half an hour. So I'm going to take this time to probably do a couple more rows on my toadstool socks. And I've just sewn my medium and large pumpkin, so they're all ready now, waiting for the stem and the leaf to be done, which I might try and get that stitched tonight. And then I'm just waiting for the stuff in. I thought I would share with you how I make these leaves. First of all, what you need, I mean, I've used batik fabrics, but you can use anything you want. I picked a selection of colours which I think are awesome. I've got one piece of fabric for the back and another colour for the front, and then all I've done is I've got a template, and you want some heat and bond. This is the strong one, ultra hold, this one. I've had this one a while, and I think I got it from Amazon. It was about £15. So how much do you get? You get 5 yards of it, 4.6 meters. Yeah, and it's 43 centimeters wide, which, you know, I've had this a while and it's a nice one. So all you do is cut 2 pieces of fabric. I've cut them 6-inch square, just because on the batiks you've got different areas that have got nice pattern in. And then I cut some heat and bond, ironed it on one piece of fabric, peeled the backing off, put the other piece of fabric on top, ironed that, so I've got a nice layer. Then I used a Fix-on pen and I drew around my template. Now you need to be careful with the Fix-on pen because on some fabrics it can leave a white mark. Now I have found on the batiks it can leave a white mark, so I've been really careful to actually sew on the line for the first round, and then on the second round I can go off the line. But do test it out on your fabrics before you try anything like this. So yes, these are my colours, or a selection of my colours. That's a nice sort of plummy colour. On your sewing machine you want a foot like this. It's either an applique foot or a darning foot, and it doesn't actually sort of hold your fabric down, so So you need to drop your dog teeth down on your machine. And the thread I'm using is Gutterman's. I always use Gutterman's for things like this. And it's a dark brown, it's colour 697, and I've got that in my bobbin thread as my bobbin thread as well. So now we'll go over to the sewing machine. Right, now I tend to wear gloves when I'm doing free motion because I seem to get a better grip. So they're my gloves. I've got little bobbly bits on the fingers so I can hold on to the fabric better. Right, I hope you can see okay. Now you can see I'm taking my time on this first round, so I'm going over the threads, going over the pen marks, just in case I end up with a white line. And you'll notice that my needle, when it stops, it's always needle down. Not every machine has this, but I find it really useful. The machine I use at the shop doesn't have that facility, and I find it very frustrating that I haven't got a needle down button, and I won't be without it on my machine. Right, and now we're going to cut around the leaf. You want to leave somewhere probably about 1/8 of an inch, something like that around. Now all we need to do is give the leaf a press, and hopefully the pen marks will disappear. So I'm using a fairly warm hot iron, because this is 100% cotton that I'm using. And yeah, it looks like all the pen marks come off. Yeah, and that's all there is to it. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you have a go at doing some applique leaves. And you can put them on anything you want to, but you might like to do what I'm doing with mine, which that'll be coming up next. Well, this is the end of week 4. I'd just like to say thank you for joining me, and I hope you've enjoyed seeing some of the crafty projects I've been getting up to this week. As you'll have noticed probably on the last picture, I'm joining in with a project bag swap, which is very exciting. I joined in with this last year and it was really good, so I'm looking forward to that. And I will be doing Vlogtober from next Tuesday, so I'll be vlogging every day again for the whole of October, so I'm looking forward to that. We've got 1 or 2 bits on in October. I'm actually going away for a week. Well, in 2 weeks time we are going to just outside Pickering, so we'll be off to the seaside and exploring around up there. So like I say, thank you for joining me, and I will see you soon. Happy crafting. Bye.